It's Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. Haven't made a video in a while. I've mostly been swing trading because I've just not been doing well with day trading, so I stuck to what I do know, and I've mainly been doing that for the last couple of weeks, and that's been carrying me. It's been making up for basically a bunch of not really bad losses because I usually obey my stop. So it's just consistent losses. I've had like one win and then four losses, one win and six losses as far as day trades go. So to balance it out, really, to make up for it, and I've been doing a lot of swing trading, and in this market with a lot of volatility, it's actually been going really well. But I wanted to make this video because I did have one day trade today that worked out well, and I was watching JFIN because of I think it has earnings tomorrow. It's a Chinese company. It has earnings I think tomorrow in the pre-market, and it was in my pre-market scan because you can see it gapped up. Look at this on the daily chart. It gapped up a ton, right through the 200 moving average. But Chinese companies, you got to be careful with them. A lot of volatility, and you just can't trust them. You can see the spread right now is over 20 cents. So it's been all over the place. But I actually almost took it here when it broke above VWAP. But you see, it didn't hold it, and it broke back down. So that was kind of a good move not to get in because again, these stocks can be kind of scary the way they move. But that second break of VWAP, you can see here the increase in volume right here as it broke VWAP, more volume here as it held VWAP. This is the way to get in above 14. If the spread wasn't too crappy, which I'm sure it was, you could have gotten in at 14 and ridden it up almost $7, basically over $7. But it's again, if the spread is crazy, it's kind of hard to trade those. They can really blow up your account if you're not careful. So I usually avoid them. But I did trade AMD because AMD was a nice one this morning. And I'll go back to the pre-market. Had some decent volume in the pre-market. Wasn't too smooth of a mover. But I was watching that 1 minute opening range break, and that is what I played, the 1 minute opening range break on this guy. So you see the market open here, green bar up over VWAP. So a lot of the boxes were checked here. It was over VWAP, had a lot of volume, and it was a green bar. I would have liked to see it close a little bit higher to the high of that 1 minute candle. But then once it started moving off of that, I got in at 57.46. And I set my stop just at basically the bottom of that candle, that second candle. So I think I set it at like 33, so about a 13-cent stop. It shot up, and I partialed out a little at exactly my 2R, which was 57.72. And then a little bit of a hotkey mistake. I meant to actually move my sec stop up to, or the remaining shares up to, and I took about a third out here, so I had 2/3 of my original shares left. I meant to set my stop a little bit higher, but I just had a hockey error, and I actually exited everything at 57.81. So I got in at 57.46, out about a third at 57.72, and out the remaining shares at 57.81. But it was actually a good thing I did get out when I did, because immediately after that, it had a big plummet down through VWAP. So I would have gotten stopped out, because as soon as I took a partial here, I moved my stop up to my break even. So I would have gotten stopped out if I hadn't gotten out. And there really wasn't much more to gain here. It went up as high as 57.94, I believe. So I couldn't, 57.93, I think was the high there. And so I wouldn't have been able to, get much more out of it. And then you can see what it did after that. It just went crazy. So I thought about re-entering, but I had such a good move on this one that I just avoided it. And I just sat on the sidelines for the rest of the day on this one, or for the rest of the morning. But it did move up quite a bit, went up to about 59 there. So could have been a nice mover if I got back in. It was just too volatile here. You see this big drop scared me, and then boom. And the rest of the market wasn't too strong at that point. So, but you can see now the market's dipping a little bit too right now. So yeah, it was a good trade. A scalp basically. I was in and out in about a minute and 10 seconds. Really, I got in 9:31 and a half. Was out at 9:32 and 36 seconds. So about a minute and a half, or less than a minute and a half, I was in and out of this trade, and it made my day. But yeah, the JFIN, crazy mover today, and basically just been or swing trading. And one of the ones I actually just got out of was Deutsche Bank, which I have been day trading or swing trading quite a bit. I got in I actually played this little move right before the coronavirus. Got a lot out of it, and then I thought right before the outbreak went crazy, I actually got in some here at around 9:53, and then you can see this big drop. But I kept averaging in as it went down because I knew that the outbreak was just kind of, eventually it would turn around, and Deutsche Bank I felt was a long term hold for me. So I had to wait a while, but then eventually made its way back up from the 200 day, and my average shares were around eight bucks I think after I had averaged everything in. So I got everything out today at around 9.98. So I got almost a $2 move out of all of my shares, that I accumulated over this drop. And so that was good. I'm thinking about getting back in, actually. I like how it's above the 200 day. This little hesitation period, if it drops down to about 9, I'll probably start getting back in. And then I think I'll average in all the way down to about the 200 moving average. And hopefully, if it does not hold that, I will get out. I usually take smaller share sizes when I swing trade. But that's the plan right now. Is I just like the way that had been moving prior to the pandemic, and now that it's kind of surged up, I could see it making another move eventually up later. But this just seemed extended right here, this little leg up, and I'm looking for it to drop a little bit at this point. So that's it. That's my swing trade recap, and that was my day trade recap. Hopefully, be back maybe later this week if I can get my day trading back on track with another video.